Alright guys, welcome back. Just a quick video on turret placements and strategies around what we're doing. So obviously we've got the three kinds of attacking turrets, which is the cannon, right? Then you've got the antlion, underground, and then you've got the locust shield anti-air. Right, so there's the three defensive structures that you can build, plus you have roadblocks at your disposal, and depending on your tech tree upgrades, you can see here I've unlocked 2 of each, and currently in the process of building a couple. Alright, but one thing that you guys need to focus on, obviously these structures take up a lot of space, so we tend to only go for the 1 or 2 turrets either side of your base zone between player builds. So it's really handy to go for the antlion, the cannon, underground, so that'll only pop up if and when required for a base defense, and then the anti-air. So in this instance at the moment we've just come back from having our bases hit, so putting in an anti-air defense system will increase our chance of not being bomb raided and losing out again. But the strategy here is that we're using topography. You can see that on this side we've got mountains, and on this side we've got mountains, so it really limits the enemy. Yes, they can come around behind us and attack, so that's why our turrets are behind us. So if I was to log off now, I'm quite happy to let the enemy come and hit me from behind. Yeah, it won't take long for them to destroy my base if they come and target me directly, but good luck to them getting their troops out before the turrets decimate their entire attack squad as well, and then they would need to come back again to finish off my troops. So that would incur more losses to get into my base, losses to take out my troops. If they target my turrets first, you can see here I've removed all the bunkers from around my base except for this one, which has just spawned in, so we're going to go and remove that one in a second. And but the good news is it's out of range of our turrets anyway, so if they trigger this, the troops aren't going to come and attack my turrets. Now the roadblocks at the front is to stop the standardized attack of sending in a super heavy or a heavy unit with the artillery behind. Whatever they send in is going to get chewed up. They're not going to be able to escape that 4 grid zone to escape your infantry, your rockets, and your tanks. So it'll trap in whatever troop they send forward. That will get decimated by all of your defenses, and then your base will switch straight to the arty. So they might get 1 or 2 hits in depending on the level of the tank and the shield, but 90% of the time they're going to lose both, and then they're going to rethink their strategy and go, okay, well, I can't keep doing that for a 5% gain on the walls, because then, you know, 5%, I'm going to have to be making 20 attacks in order to take down that base if it was full health. Alright, so really consider carefully the amount of space you're willing to take up. Ideally, if it's an active front line, keeping the bases really close together is still the better option, where you can defend for each other, make an AG, and have that defending your baseline. For us, we're a very small alliance. We've only got a couple of active players in each time zone, so at the moment there is literally only 2 of us online. So the enemy is burning and coming for us, and they are supported by their alliance. So we've got S78 here who's pushing against us, and of course Thai from TM. He's much more powerful than anyone that we have on our team, but he also knows that he won't come and attack my base solo because it cost him a lot of troops. So he was the one that took out my base the first time. I didn't have any defenses, and he lost about 500-600 troops trying to take out my base. But yeah, he's not gonna fall for that again, I can assure you. So now we've got the additional defense systems up as protection the roadblocks strategically placed around the mountains and at a point in the map, so I am just touching this zone, right? So they can't burn that village without taking out our bases, and they obviously can't go behind us until they've captured this one, or they come alongside. Alright, so think about your placements of your turrets and what you're going to do. Now, one thing that I'm not going to be able to show you, but one thing that I want you guys to think about is roadblocks. These are actually really easy to remove. You'll get the option not to abandon, because you're going to click on the enemy roadblock, but you get the option to dismantle, and all you do is you send a collection truck, and it's really incognito. If you catch them after they've set up their defensive line, if you catch them offline, it only takes like 3 minutes and your collection truck has completely dismantled the roadblock. Otherwise it can last, so my duration is almost 4 days on my roadblocks, so it'll sit there for 4 days, unless I abandon it earlier or they send in a collection truck to remove it when I'm offline. That being said, if you do have to abandon a building, it is a 50% payout minus the time that it has spent as a percentage. So if it's been there for 2 days and that's 50%, I'll get 50% return on my investment, which I think that cost 50k. So they cost 50,000, so I'll get 25,000 back minus the 50% time duration that it's already been there. So that's 12,500. All right, of my 25k that I should have got back. So it's only, you only get back the full 50% if you abandon it immediately. So, oops, I built it. What a mistake. It needs to go somewhere else. Abandon the building, you get 50% back right away. Alright, so just some things to consider, but the topography of the map is the most vital one, because the amount of space this has taken up. There we go, my anti-air is now up. The amount of space that this takes up to set up zone protections, it really only buys you a certain amount of time on defense, which is not a great deal. Alright guys, have fun playing around with the defense systems, and hopefully you can use it to your advantage.